Welcome to another edition of the Inside Wrestling Report. Alongside my partner Ryan, I am your host J-Man. This edition of the IWR are going to do our TNA Slammiversary IX review, just getting off the air with the pay-per-view. First matchup, we had the TNA Tag Titles on the line with champions James Storm and replacing Robert Roode, Alex Shelley versus the British Invasion.
This was just a good opener, man. Just really impressing with this opener. You know, setting up a solid night, just with good action all over the place. There's spots in there where you thought maybe Shelley was going to turn on Storm, or Storm was going to turn. They thought British Invasion was going to come in there and steal the win. Not doing anything, just kind of get that win out of nowhere and just kind of be weird, just being the champions, just doing nothing.
Yeah.
But at the end, they pull it out. They get the win. They hug it out. No dissension, no problems. Bobby Roode's up at the entrance. Just no face heel, nothing. Just everyone's clean. Everyone's face. Just good match overall.
I thought it was a really good start with it. A lot of stuff. They had the Storm spitting the beer in there, and then having a super kick. A lot of stuff going back there, and a lot of false finishes there, which is just classic stuff to start out with the TNA opener match, like they usually have there. But good start out there, and Storm and Shelley retained for beer money, if you want to call it, or gun money, or whatever.
Beer gunny,
beer gunny, whatever you want to call it. Second matchup, we had Matt Morgan versus Scott Steiner. Really nothing too special here. Matt Morgan getting the win. Just something that they were going to throw on, like I said in the preview. Just something they're going to throw on. Not really too much going on here. It's just something to where they just need to figure out something they're going to do with these guys that don't really do much. There's the Matt Morgans and the Scott Steiners just kind of thrown into kind of stuff that just not really making too much sense, while you got guys like Crimson that are kind of starting to move up from where they go and not really retreating and going back from where they were before, but Matt Morgan getting the win and not really too close to a special match.
I mean, Matt Morgan's not gaining anything by beating Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner hasn't been relevant since never. WCW.
Yeah.
He's done some cool stuff here and there. His promos are funny, but you're not really gaining anything off of a victory over him. Just a all over the place match. Just these guys just don't have great chemistry. They're just two big trees, just oofing around
just
out there.
Filler. Yeah.
Just a filler match. Could have gave some more time to some other matches. But it is what it is, and get Steiner on TV. People still want to see him. I don't know why, but okay match.
Next matchup, we had the X Division title on line with champion Abyss face Kaz and Brian Kendrick.
This was kind of had a little storytelling to it, kind of going on. Kaz and Brian Kendrick were trying to chop down the oak tree of Abyss. Them two teaming up, trying to take him on. Abyss just getting the better of him here and there, and eventually Kaz and Kendrick just blowing up on each other and just going at it with each other, just kind of losing focus on what's the title itself, and just some good action here and there. Abyss did his job, took some spots. Between Kaz and Kendrick, doing moves with themselves, this carried a solid match, and it was nothing special, but it was nothing skippable either. It was good stuff for the most part.
Yeah, basically a glorified handicap match when it all comes down to it. Kaz and Kendrick really just working on Abyss to really try to get the X title off it, which we were hoping to get that X title moving on to Destination X next month. It just looks amazing coming up with this all X Division type thing they're going on, bringing back the 6 sides, and hopefully getting that X title on somebody that would be an X guy like a Kendrick or a Kaz, but keeping it on Abyss. Hopefully they'll get it off of him in the incoming impacts before Destination X, but just do not want to see Abyss going into Destination X with that X title. Just bad stuff there. Moving on to some pretty good stuff, actually. We had Samoa Joe versus Crimson here in this match of Crimson building up this streak just like Samoa Joe had back in 2005 with TNA, him coming into TNA. Really some stiff stuff here. Joe really starting to break out and finally, just see the Joe of old here. And with somebody like Crimson that's really up and coming and really going to be, some guy to look out for in the future, and really looked really good in this matchup. Some nasty suplexes and some, the holes there doing a lot of groundwork with the legs that Joe was working on. But Joe looking stiff and Crimson looking pretty good and getting the win here over Samoa Joe.
Yeah, this is how you want to do a TNA. If you're going to try to put over a guy and make it believable, have him gain something from this. Having Crimson beat Joe clean, and nothing bad about it. There was just spots where you saw glimpses of brilliance between both guys, and you thought, if time was given, this match could have been just outstanding. Both guys are just great on the ground. Crimson's just one of those guys that, when you look at TNA coming up, if you're not going to push the guys that are your TNA original guys, he's a guy that's come in that you could really do something with. The guys like Matt Morgan and just Scott Steiner that are just kind of floating around, just really aren't doing much. This guy can carry a match in the ring. He's in there with Joe. Joe just beat the hell out of him. He just kept coming, and it was for the most part, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It ended kind of soon. It ended, where we didn't think, there wasn't no pop. It was just a sky high powerbomb. Just ended like nothing. And you figured Joe would have kicked out or something like that, but it didn't happen. Crimson got the clean win, and
Crimson moving on and just progressing, and especially has been getting here. Next matchup, we had the Knockouts title on with champion Mickie James versus Angelina Love.
This is what happened. They did some moves, and they did some more moves, and it was what was it? What happened?
I think it was Winterference.
Winterference.
Was it Winterference?
Yeah, Winterference. And then there was a couple other moves, and a couple other moves, and there was some. What was it?
I think there was more Winterference.
There was Winterference in this.
Really, some Winterference.
A lot of Winterference in this.
Yeah.
It was just. Man, come on, guys. The quality of Angelina Love as a wrestler and the quality of Mickie James as a wrestler, you would really just think that these guys could pull out something, without having all this back and forth, just nasty, just horrible stuff. It's bad because both these women can wrestle. They have talent, and just a botch finish and just probably a real just nasty part of this pay-per-view was probably the only other than Steiner and Morgan. This was just unneeded. They could have just had himself a nice little match, and it just would have been okay.
Yeah.
But they went on with it way too long.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were trying to do.
Yeah, Mickie getting the win with the horribly botched DDT that they went for. I don't even know how they turned it around to get that pin, but winner out there and getting a lot of interference, on Angelina's behalf, but just something that just kind of continuing with Mickie and just kind of just keep going with her as the Knockouts champion. Really nothing to really looks like going to come in and really go, because they did this stuff with Madison. They got Tara's now, turning face, not probably going to be doing stuff there. You got stuff in Winter and Angelina. You got crap going on with ODB and Velvet. So it's just a whole weird mess going on with the Knockouts division right here, where you just need to get some stable and, a feud going that can really carry some pretty good matches. But we let Gail Kim back in the Knockouts division because it just carried some great matches and stuff going on when you think Mickie can do it, but just not really getting the quality out of there. But Mickie retaining the Knockouts title in there. Next matchup will be the last man standing match between AJ Styles and Bully Ray. Really good stuff here. A really brutal kind of last man standing match. Really was kind of dragging at the beginning of it, but really started to kind of get on there when it started to get some just stuff going on where they were getting to the outside and some, stiff shots. Bully Ray getting really busted open and a nasty blade job going on there because he was busted open pretty darn good. And getting to the finish with AJ doing this, another classic AJ Styles spot. This, spot with the elbow drop off the top of the truss to Bully Ray, and Bully Ray kicking him through the little thing and getting the win in the last man standing match. But yet another impressive performance from AJ Styles. Bully Ray getting the win in the last man standing match.
Yeah, this was the hands down best match of the night. I was coming into this pay-per-view thinking either Joe Crimson or this match was going to produce. I always had my thoughts in the back of my head. It's Bully Ray. It's Bully Ray. It's Bully Ray. He's not. Yeah, and I was like, he's in the ring with AJ. They're gonna, and the feud of how strong this feud is, how they're building it, how you took me out, I'm coming back. Blah, blah. The whole just deal with that. You wanted to believe that it was going to be an actual, felt like they actually hated each other, and they really did. It looked like they really did. They did some just nasty stuff in the ring. Just a couple spots where they were just chopping each other. It was just disgusting. AJ just kept taking them. Yeah. And just some nasty spots. AJ jumping, doing spots off of things. Just, man, boy, I tell you, he was grabbing. If you saw it, there was a spot where he ran and jumped. And
he had to go clear a good 15, 20 feet. Where he was, but he made it out there.
It almost didn't make it. He was going to splat. But he caught it, and it was really, a really good match, and probably one of the better matches I've seen Bully Ray. Yeah. If you've seen a better Bully Ray match, you leave a comment down here you let us know, because I honestly haven't seen one in forever.
While for sure.
Yeah,
it has been.
Singles match.
Yeah. Bully Ray getting the winning last man standing match there. Next matchup, we actually had the TNA World Title on the line here, getting the sub-main here, not getting the main event. We had champion Sting versus Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, we had this idea, we got to thinking this was sub-maining, that, something was going to happen to where maybe somebody was going to win, and then after the main event, with Angle and Jarrett, they was, going to have a title match and just be something short, and then, something, just a whole bunch of shenanigans.
All out of the crap they did with, Jeff Hardy back a couple months ago.
It's almost obvious now that, looking at it from where it's at, that Anderson's going to be an immortal. Anderson gets the win on this. Just, it wasn't clean. Eric Bischoff came out. Just a blatant low blow right in front of the ref.
Just looking right at him.
Just looking right at him. Low blowed him. Mic check. Win. You got Sting out there just acting all crazy looking like he just ate a bunch of charcoal. just looks like a 4-year-old epilepsy did his face paint.
It's
it was
hilarious.
just the match was just all over the place. But it made sense to give Anderson the title if they really need a lead in Immortal with Jeff Hardy being gone right now, and it makes a lot of sense. People are getting on that hate train with him, really hating him. So
we're getting the win with the Bischoff coming out and doing the mysterious counts of crap, and then with
Sting thought he won or something.
The blatant low blow right in front of the guy with the mic check. It's just, come on, TNA, can we get a match that is not a main type match, a title match, or a big going in type match to a pay per view that does not have some sort of shenanigans with crap with run-ins, or just give us a clean finish for the love of God. I mean, it's like with the title match, they just can't give it to us ever. It just doesn't seem like it. But Mr. Anderson, the new champion, and will now going on to face the new #1 contender, which we were decided in the main event here, which was the final battle, which was the #1 contender for the TNA World Title, and Kurt Angle's medals were on the line between Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett. Kurt Angle getting the win here in a pretty solid match. This was going to be the final battle. Finally, Karen's not going to get involved. She was, had the interview or whatever, saying, I'm not going to be seen around and blah blah blah. I don't want to be involved with what's going on anymore. A really solid match in the card here. Kurt Angle getting the win here, and we're moving on probably to face Mr. Anderson in the next 7 months for the world title. I
really like this match. I thought, compared to their lockdown match, they almost tried. They tried to do too much in their lockdown match, and they're not spot guys. They're not guys who just do cage spots, and they're more of a ground. Here we go. Let's wrestle. Let's story tell a little bit more than what you got in that cage match. For me, just this match was perfect to put this as the main event. Over the title match. It was the right move by TNA in my opinion. Just a good back and forth match. There was some shenanigans here and there. Nothing to where it hurt anything. There's a guitar shot and just...
Yeah, we were expecting it to get kind of out of hand whenever you get the guitar in there and the ref gets knocked out. It's like, come on, but it kind of brought it back.
But it was a clean TNA finish to a TNA pay-per-view, and
that's very rare to see.
Very surprising, and was good stuff, and going on to see Angle Anderson in the future.
Yeah.
So, because
who knows if they'll do it at the Destination X, if it's going to be all X Division, which could be some great stuff. It is.
Ain't seen that package. You need to see that.
Yeah,
Destination
great stuff with the Destination X pay-per-view coming up next month, which should be some great stuff to see there. This will now wrap up our TNA Slammiversary IX review. For my partner Ryan, I am your host J-Man. Thank you for watching another edition of the Instant Wrestling Report, your source for wrestling news, information, and opinions instantly.
This is a battleground!